Hey everybody, thank you for joining us once again here on Real Last 104.1. That's right, it is Monday, July 13th. The voice you're hearing is James John. I'll be your host tonight. I'm joined with a bunch of funny guys, a comedy collective, if you
There
will.
we go. There we go. I was worried. I was like, did he forget?
Nah. You got to keep it with the C word, baby. That's right, comedy collective. We are joined by Mike Herlihy. He's from the Obligatory Podcast. And Mike, you actually got a new podcast I wanted to mention real quick, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm actually working with a friend on a podcast called Dying with Diabetes in America. So, it's just a little bit more cheery than this one.
Hey, first of all, don't steal me and James's life story and then make it a podcast, okay?
You reappropriating mother. Yeah.
I got to tell you, man. Yeah, I'm working with Michelle Devine Robinson. She is a type 1 diabetic. She was diagnosed when she was 16. It's not an easy disease to live with. So we're actually doing a podcast where we interview other diabetics. We're interviewing people in the medical profession. We're interviewing people in the pharmaceutical industry going, why the hell is this stuff so expensive? Like, we have diseases out there that we have no answers for. This one, we got everything figured out. Insulin's cheap to produce. How come people are having to decide between, feeding themselves or paying bills and getting the medicine they need? So it's a pretty interesting one. And I've learned so much about it in just the few weeks we've been at it. And more importantly, I didn't know there was such a large diabetic community out there. I knew there were people with diabetes, but I didn't know there was so much support out there, because we've just had people emailing me, texting me, like, when can I be on? I want to tell my story.
Get a call from like Tony the Tiger. He's like, you start asking the wrong effing questions.
I'm pretty sure Big Pharma's going to give me a call sooner or later. But yeah, I'd love to have you guys on eventually, a little bit down the road, once we get our footing and figured stuff out. But other than that,
once we get our footing,
because some of us still have feet. But what I was going to say is, other than that, personally, dude, I had to drop the kids off at the airport this morning. They're gone for 3 weeks. So it's like,
I saw that.
Mixed emotions, like happy, sad, I'm going to miss them. Happy, I've been walking around the house naked all day. I'm remembering what it's like to listen to porn with the volume on. Like, life is good. Life is good.
Do tell. Go on.
Yeah.
Like, you by yourself?
By myself.
That other voice you're hearing, or the other two voices, we got Miguel Colon Jr., 2016 Monster Comedian of the Year. Miguel, how you feeling this week?
Good, man. I say we go crash Mike's house and we do real laughs with pizza and just beer and just talking about how we don't need no women, and then get real drunk and be like, I'm with my girl.
Man, let me tell you, Mike's house by myself makes the Sausage Castle look like a daycare center. Okay? You guys don't even understand.
Okay,
you don't even understand. Don't touch nothing. It's all sticky.
I was going to say, we understand. I was going to say, wash your damn hands. That's what I was going to say.
If they could come up with a lubricant that's made of hand sanitizer, I could quarantine for a year.
Amen. All right, the other guy that makes up our comedy collective is the godfather of Orlando comedy and the HOA president of his neighborhood, Mr. Ken Miller.
What's up, man?
What's going on?
Casey's show got canceled this weekend, so I didn't do no comedy, man.
It got canceled.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
The amount of numbers for COVID went up, so they wanted to cancel the show. So now, I haven't done comedy since March 19th, man.
Hey,
at least they were
all I
responsible.
can say is this. Okay, Florida, we're number one again. Yes, we are. We are number one, bro.
Ain't nobody
we're breaking records.
Yeah.
No, hell no. We won't quit. We won't stop, man. No, we're just gonna keep doing it.
We're number one, but the governor is acting like, look, this is the highest number anywhere in the country, highest number since this all started. We shut it down. We shut down the country for less, but hey, your kids are back in school in August.
And as parents, I know you must like be 50% really worried, but also 50% be like, how can I make this work? Like,
yeah.
Dude,
you got to be worried though, guys. I mean, like, I honestly.
Not me, because my kids, they're in dual enrollment, so they don't even they're giving everybody a choice in Osceola County. Let me be transparent. You can either go to school or you can do the online schooling for high school. So you don't have to go.
And Osceola used to be like, you could either go to school or immediately start working at the dump.
That's right. That's right. It's called.
I don't know. I don't know Seminole rule yet, but I know for sure. If it's going to be there for Seminole County, I can guarantee you my kids aren't going to school.
My kids, their elementary school, we haven't had that passed yet either for Orange County. Like what's going on as far as I know, they're still intending on physically going to brick and mortar classes. And I gotta tell you, I'm not down with that. I'm not. Cool with it. And believe me, no one, you guys know me, no one more than me has planned out the next 18 years from the day my kid was born of countdown to freedom. Nobody wants to hold him back from going to college more than me, because that's when freedom starts. But I mean, if it comes down to the sake of my kid's health, and I saw an interview with Betsy DeVos, the education professor. Did you guys catch that interview?
Yeah.
Where they were just like, okay, well, you're saying people need to go back to school, but we're asking, what's your plan? What's your step? Like you saw months ago, China having their schools with the little sprayers and everything they need to do to get their classroom sanitary. And she's just saying, look, I think that's up to every school in every state. And then the interviewer was like, well, do you think then that you're for schools allowing at home, video education? She's like, what I'm saying is they need to get back to schools. But you're saying it's different for every. She has no answers. She knows nothing about the education system.
I'm invested heavily in little coffins, so we need to make this work.
Her whole family, their money comes from private schools and charter schools. So she doesn't care about the public school kids, man.
Did you guys see this real quick? Harvard is being hit up because they're not changing their tuition price.
No,
but they're not doing any real brick and mortar school.
Yeah.
So you're going to online classes, but they're charging me. When I was looking at this, I was thinking to myself, I was like, bull crap. That's a streaming service. So I'll pay like pay like $14.99 a month. That's it, Harvard.
So Harvard is the new University of Phoenix. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. Now, guys, I want to talk to you about something really quick. We got some special birthdays coming up here. Actually, it's Cheech Marin's birthday. That's right, from the famous comedy duo Cheech and Chong. Now, we've all seen the 1978 film Up in Smoke. You guys have seen that, right? Even Ken, I think you've seen it.
I have not seen it.
Really? God damn it, Ken! You haven't seen Up in Smoke.
No, first of all, can you say God damn it?
Yeah, man, this is America. Okay. God don't matter anymore.
That's a clip. That's a clip.
That's a clip that gets us pulled off real radio. All of Daytona just turned us off, and they didn't even know that you two were black yet.
Oh my God, bro!
Who would have known? He's so well spoken. But anyway,
I love Early's face. He's like, I waste all my time making sure the sound is good on this, just for you guys to ruin it.
I was like, I got no kids. I had plans after we record tonight. Now I just got 10 more minutes of editing ahead of me.
There you go.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome. Well, the reason I bring it up because I wanted to know what's your guys' favorite movies that are dedicated to weed. And there's a lot of them out there over the years. Mine has to be Friday. I absolutely love the first one. Let me make sure I say that. The first one.
Yeah, the other ones don't
Chris
exist.
Tucker, they don't. They not in real history. It's not canon. But the first one was absolutely hilarious, man, because I got to see Ice Cube, who's one of the coldest rappers, one of the most serious dudes I've ever seen, become funny and relatable in a way I'd never seen him before. So for me, Friday was definitely a great movie for dedicated to smoking weed, man. Smokey cracked me up. And
that was probably the first comedy I ever saw Ice Cube in.
That's right. That's absolutely right, man.
Yeah.
It changed the way I looked at him. I was like, oh, this guy, I could have a beer with him before he shoots somebody in the face. I thought he was funny.
Ice Cube was the most dangerous young black man in America. And I don't mean that physically. I just mean ideologically, Ice Cube wasn't taking your BS, and he had a platform to say it. He was very intelligent and still very aggressive. And I think that there was tons of people in the music industry and in just politics and life that were terrified of Ice Cube, not because he was this gangster personification, but because he was a personification of angst in the black youth community, and he was smart and articulate and lost no street credibility.
Nope, not at the same time, man. So for me, Friday was hilarious, man. Ken, I know you never partaked in weed because you're a good church law-abiding citizen. But what's one of your favorite movies?
I'm a great Christian, goddammit. But look,
first of all, can you say?
Yeah.
Well,
you can stand outside the White House with a list of people you want God to damn.
On a big sign,
on a big sign, and half of them you're like, but I think those are good people. Like,
yeah.
Oh man. Of course it'll be Friday because Friday's like a cult classic, but it's gonna be How High just for the fact that I want to be like,
man.
Remember Samson? No, not How High. Half Baked.
Half Baked.
Half Baked is my movie because I love
Samson. Emergency call. Emergency breakthrough. Yeah. Samson's just Delilah. Samson, mama fell down.
Yo, just the concept of the movie. Your friend goes to jail for killing the police horse, so you sell weed to get your friend out of jail. Just the concept of the movie is stupid, and I love it. I love it.
Oh man, that was a great movie. It's one of those movies that critically was panned. It didn't make a lot of money. It bombed, but everyone loves that movie.
Yeah, it's another one of those cult classic movies that you can watch over and over that didn't make a lot of money in the box office. No. But it's hilarious to cats like us.
Yeah, I would say Half Baked is my favorite because I've smoked before, but it never became a lifestyle for me. But that movie just appealed to me. And as a comedian, I got my little checklist. I've opened for Harlan Williams. I've opened for Jim Brewer. I need to get that Chappelle credit. I got my half-baked lineup that I want to work with. It's like when you look at that lineup, those four roommates, you had Chappelle, you had Jim Brewer, and you had Harlan Williams. Who was the other guy? Who was
Stephen Wright?
Stephen Wright was the guy on the couch. But
Stephen Wright was on the couch. But the little one that quits his job and he's like, you're cool.
The Puerto Rican dude. He was on the Chappelle show too. I don't know his name.
He was so funny, and
I'm trying to think. I know his name. He actually he came out gay
I can't
too.
say it.
Guillermo Diaz.
Yeah,
Guillermo Diaz. And he always plays badasses. No, man, he's just an actor, and he's played some badass roles, man.
Yeah.
Just some real badass roles.
Yeah, he has. Damn, that was a good movie, man. I'm gonna have to go watch Half Baked again because there were so many laughs and so many cameos from a lot of Hollywood comedians in there too. That was a damn good movie, man.
Yeah, the Bob Saget scene in Intervention.
Like he had a big scene. He had a big character in Scandal.
Mm-hmm. He was like the fixer,
the Puerto Rican kid.
Yeah.
He was. He had a because it's so funny now that we talk about him. Now I'm starting to see him.
In other roles.
Stuff.
Absolutely. Now, you guys ever watch like Dazed and Confused from back in the day? You guys ever watch that?
Yeah. Sure. Ken hasn't, but
Dude, I'm sorry. Look, man, I grew up as a kid where we didn't get to go to movies. We didn't get to watch a lot of movies. So I'm catching up on a lot of stuff. Now, when I was able to go to movies, I was at the movies every week. Like, you know me, when I'm on the road, I go see 7 movies. But as a kid, I just didn't get to watch a lot of stuff. So now I'm catching up, man.
Wasn't Dazed and Confused Matthew McConaughey's big break?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that him? Like, what I like about high school girls? I keep getting older, but they stay the same age.
And we laughed.
We laughed.
It was a different time. It was a movie in the 90s about the 70s. It was fine.
Guys, stick around with us real quick because when we get back, we're going to be talking about everybody's favorite Broadway play. And I'm talking about Hamilton. I know, Mike, you've seen it. Oh, King gives it a thumbs down. It's about to be lit. Don't go anywhere. More hilarity on Real Laughs on 104.1. Welcome back, everybody. You are still tuned in to Real Laughs on 104.1. I'm your host, James. I am joined with our comedy collective tonight with Mike Herlihy, Ken Miller, and Miguel Colon Jr. I want to definitely remind everybody you can catch all our past shows on the iHeart app. You can catch us on Spotify and iTunes, and you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Don't forget to go to YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. Now, guys, we were just talking about all the movies that we love to have to do with getting stoned, smoking weed. Now, I wanted to ask you guys, though, do you remember the first time that you guys ever got high? First, have everybody here smoked weed before? Let's start there, I guess.
Yeah.
We have.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Ken, you smoke weed for real?
Yeah, I do a whole joke about the first time I smoked weed.
But I thought you were just joking. I didn't know it was actually
that's a legit true story. So real quick, my brother was cleaning his closet out. And he found this dime bag of weed. It had been sitting in his closet for like a minute. Like it's like years. It was in a Patrick Ewing jacket. Like that's how long it had been sitting in the closet. I smoked it with him, and I got into a fight with my own shadow. I was fighting the shadow. My other brother locked himself in the car. He was so high. He was telling us to call the police. He was so high. But I just stopped smoking because every time I smoke, I end up peeing on myself. Like I fall asleep.
Wait, Ken, you just can't go over that quick. Wait, hold up a second. Back the truck up. Every time you smoke weed, you pee on yourself?
Dude, I smoked a joint with Carmen Morales at Why Not Lounge. I remember I think I've told Mike the story. I drove home, and I'm so sorry, God, that I drove home. I was drunk, I was high. I parallel parked in between two cars at my apartment complex. They were parked straight in. I parallel parked somehow. I get upstairs, I open my door, I pass out. I wake up, I'm halfway in the apartment, halfway out the apartment. My pants are down, and I have pissed all over the carpet.
Oh,
and I'm talking about the whole night. Like I had just passed out. I woke up like I don't remember getting home. I don't remember any of that. And then the second time, Adam Murray gave me a gummy, and I ate the whole gummy, and I started getting like panicky. And I Googled how to get weed out the system, and it said drink water. So I drank a gallon of water and fell asleep and peed in the bed.
Well, because you drank a gallon of water.
So yeah, man.
Did you Google how to get pee stains out of your mattress?
Nah, man. I just flipped it. Yo, my girl came home like, why is the pillow top on the bottom? Girl, just go to bed. Why are we sleeping on this box spring? Girl, go to bed.
Oh my God. That is hilarious.
So I don't smoke no more.
Okay, got it. Now, Mike, do you remember the very first time you got high off weed, bro?
Yeah, man. I was out of high school. I was like 18. I was hanging out with a friend of mine who was a bit older than me, and he had smoked for years. Like I just knew he did it, but I didn't smoke. I just never did. And one day we were heading out. I think we were going to play racquetball of all things. And I'm in his truck, and he's like, "Hey, man, you know I would never pressure you into anything, but I'm going to smoke some. You want to try it? You can try it." And I'm like, "Yeah, all right." So I tried it, and it hit me hard because I don't even smoke cigarettes. So like I was coughing and hacking, and then he's like, "No, here's how you have to inhale." And then I thought nothing happened to me. Like I'm sitting there, I'm like, well, that's the dumbest thing ever. And then we stopped at like a 7-Eleven like 20 minutes later, and I went inside, and he just had to grab me like 2 or 3 times from the cooler section because he's like, dude, you've been standing there for like 3 minutes. I'm like, no, we just got here. He's like, no, dude, you've been standing here for 3 minutes. He's like, and he finally picked like a Gatorade for me, and we went to the counter. I went to pay, and I started like giggling, and he's like, what? I thought I was whispering. I turned to him like, I think she knows we're high. He's like, dude, it's this old lady, but she starts giggling and laughing. He's like, dude, she works at 7-Eleven. I'm sure we're not the first high people she's seen come in. And then we went to play racquetball, and I just couldn't do it, man. We were on one of those indoor courts, and like every time the ball hit the back wall and made like that drum thing, I just like kind of froze and stood there. And he's like, all right, dude, we're done. You can never get high again. And then he ran around town telling people how I can't handle weed. So that was wow. That was it. That was my first time. Yeah.
Miguel, how about you, man? You remember your first time?
Man, I think I had an anticlimactic first time. It was like a couple other times. Yeah, I just got real high, and then we were just playing like NBA. I think we were playing NBA Jam, and it was just one of those where I was high. But I've gotten so many people high on their first time, but I have some great other people high first time stories. I used to work when I was a kid, when I was in middle school, and that's when I first got high for real, was like 8th grade, sporadically. But it's because older kids, you know, like hanging out. And we worked for the Post and Courier newspaper in South Carolina. We worked for this woman, Miss Barbara, and she had a van of bad boys. Miss Barbara's boys, she would pick up and take you into neighborhoods far from your home, and you would go door to door collecting money that people owed for newspapers and trying to sell subscriptions. And we were referred to as the unmolestables. I lie to you not. She got a crew of bad kids, so she wouldn't have to worry about them getting molested. Like
Miguel,
straight up.
You just said that, and some priest somewhere is like, hold my beer.
Oh, we were ready for it, bro. We were ready for it. She would take us to the flea market once a month, and we'd be allowed to buy knives and throwing stars because we knew it was going to go down one day. Like, we were far from our homes, knocking on doors, walking inside people's houses, signing them up for newspapers. So, like, Ms. Barber only took bad kids, and John Brasini, who was a saint.
You sound like the 90s version of Oliver Twist street gang pickpockets.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, you didn't have Fanigan, you had this woman.
Fanigan. In this life, one thing counts. But yeah, she would take us around. So every now and then we would get like a new kid with us. And we picked up this new kid, Steven, and we went by his house. And Ms. Barb was like, hey, I'm going to go pick us all up some breakfast. We're like, all right, so we're outside with Steven. And so she's going to like get a bunch of like McDonald's breakfast sandwiches for us. So we're like, you want to smoke with us? And he's like, sure, I've never smoked before. And I'm like, nah, you're going to love it. So we get high and we get in Miss Barbara's van and we drive like an hour and 45 minutes, almost 2 hours away from Charleston, all the way up near Georgetown because we're going to sell newspapers there. And we get out of the van. And Steven's sitting in the back. And she's like, Steven. And he goes, take me home. And she's like, what? He's like, I'm not doing this. Take me home. I can't do this. And she's like, what did y'all do to Steven? We're like, I don't know. He's like, and she said later on, she told us she drove all the way home. He didn't answer any of her questions. He got out. His last day he ever worked with us. First day and last day. He got high and he was like, I'm not doing this.
I love it, man.
One time on a side note, we used to have these two dudes, Ace and Tony, who worked with us. And one day we pulled up and there was a fire and fire trucks everywhere outside of this dumpster, like burning. And Ace and Tony ran inside the van and were like, drive. And Ms. Barbara was like, what? They were like, just effing drive. And we peel off. And she's like, what happened? They're like, oh, I don't know. They reeked of smoke. They reeked of smoke. There was a dumpster on fire. They're screaming drive. And once we get like 2 blocks down, she's like, what did you do? And they're like, oh, we don't know. It's just there was a fire.
But they had nothing to do with the fire.
They lit it. We all know they did. They literally reeked of smoke. Ken, they reeked of smoke and like lighter fluid, hopped in the van screaming drive, and then tried to pretend like, what are you talking about, fire? Oh, was there?
Wow.
That's odd.
Oh, man. My first time getting high was, I guess, the best way to get high. Like, everything that happened that night, the guys I was getting high with for the first time, they did everything right. I didn't smoke weed till late in my teens. Like, I was graduating like high school in like a month. I had never tried it before. So a group of guys I was hanging out with that I was cool with was like, James, try it, man. If you know what I mean, you're curious, go ahead and try it. So we were all playing Mortal Kombat. It was a chill atmosphere. I smoked because I think what happens is what ruins people's first time, they try to go be productive like Mike playing racquetball. You can't go do anything productive. Yeah. You got to just sit
or Ken trying to pee in toilets. Oh, silly behind trying to pee in a toilet.
Silly Negro. But yeah, so I get high, right? High as the kite. And they're like, James, we got you. You're probably feeling a little hungry, aren't you? I'm like, yes, I am feeling hungry. They're like, get in the car. We're going to drive. They drive me to wherever you go in the middle of the night when you're hungry and you're high. We go to Taco Bell. Now, I've been to Taco Bell many a times before. I had soft tacos, all the things they have to offer, burritos, everything. But when you are high and you put something beefy, cheesy in your mouth, brother, it tasted like Taco Bell became a 5-star restaurant. I was like, my compliments to the chef, sir. Like, it tasted so damn good.
They were like, you been to Taco Bell before? You were like, yeah. They're like, nah, not yet.
Nah, bro. Oh my God. And they took me back to the place we were hanging out before and we just played video games and it's ate Cheetos the rest of the night. My first time high was amazing, bro. That's why I turned into a pothead in high school.
Bro,
right after high school.
Which is crazy because Taco Bell is not good any other time.
No, it's not good any other time.
And I think they're proud of it. I think Taco Bell's proud of it. That's why they're open till 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's right. Why they sell Mountain Dew flavored taco. You know, Taco Bell's laboratory is just it's like in the center of some head shop in California, and they're like, what about a fluffer nutter?
When you can come out and show people, hey, we shoot our meat out of guns, And we use the term meat very loosely around here, and people still go, yeah. I was shocked at the amount of people when, like 3 years ago, Taco Bell came out in the news because they found out they were using fillers in their meat. And I was shocked that people really thought they were getting grade A quality meat for $1 a burrito.
Yeah,
you know?
That comes out as a paste. It's not pate.
Yeah.
You know, what do you think here, man? They're over there like, man, this Taco Bell, this is some really good, very thinly sliced beef.
It just amazes me that Taco Bell has like 4 ingredients and they keep coming up with new ways to market it.
It's
I'm
just
like,
geometry and
that's
sugar.
the same thing, just stacked differently.
Yeah,
that's right. And people fall for it. They're like, "Wow, did you see that new?" Nah, bro, that's a taco inside a burrito.
Let me explain to you.
I don't think people fall for it. I think they just go, "Man, what are you calling the thing I had last week this week so I can order it again?"
It's like buying dope off the street. You're like, "Yo, we got them red tops. Weren't those green tops last week?" It's the same dope.
Yeah,
you know,
it's the same dope. You just put it in a different bag.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I got these triple stack Mitsubishis. Those are double stack Pac-Mans. I know mine.
And Ken, you so right about Taco Bell. Like when I went sober to Taco Bell, I was like, "Ugh, what garbage am I eating, bro? This is not good."
Pepsi tastes off. I'm like, what's wrong with this?
Tastes like Hep C instead.
You right?
Yeah, it's horrible.
Bro, you all right, dude? They have 18 different brands of Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
They have, and I'm talking about Mountain Dews you can't buy in the store. You can't buy any new Mountain Dews anywhere.
What's this Locks Edition Mountain Dew with Styles P on it?
He said it tastes like Hep C, bro.
Yo, I never had a Plan B Mountain Dew. That's different.
Yeah. Now, this one's called Mountain Dew Code Racist.
What are you, boy? A Mountain Dew or a Mountain Goat? Suck it up.
Yeah. That's what the meat's made of, Mike. Mountain Goat.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh! Thank y'all for that. That felt good.
That gave tears in my eyes, bro. This dude said Hep C, bro. Oh my god! Somebody with Hep C is gonna be writing this show tomorrow, bro.
With their yellow eyes.
Yo, they got.
I like how you said someone with Hep C is going to write in because Pepsi's listening, going, "No, he's got a point."
Yeah, they're like Mountain Dew Code Racist right now. Buy that website. It's
hey
gonna
guys,
be NASCAR's new drink.
Don't go anywhere because when I get back, I want to talk about the Smiths, Will and Jada. Don't go anywhere. Right here on Real Laughs 104.1. Welcome back, everybody. You are still listening to Real Laughs on 104.1. I am your host, Mr. James John. I am joined with our comedy collective tonight. We got Mike Herlihy, Ken Miller, and Miguel Colon Jr. Now, guys, unless you've been under a rock, we all have been bombarded by all the talk about Hamilton. That's right. This is a play that came from Broadway that won 11 Tony Awards, 30 other awards, and everybody seems to love it, sing it. My kids sing it every single day. Ken hasn't seen it yet. Surprise, surprise, everybody. But Mike, have you seen Hamilton before we go on? Everybody seen it besides Ken?
I have. I've seen it twice now. Yep.
Gotcha. I've seen it about 3 times. Miguel, have you had a chance to see it yet?
Yeah, I've seen Hamilton.
Yo, y'all got that much time in y'all life? It's that damn thing 3 hours.
I gotta have something in the background while I edit this crap.
So you ain't seen it.
How many FBI files have you ever seen in the row? Ken?
First of all, you supposed to send me the FBI file.
I'm looking for Kevin McHale. Yeah, I googled it, trying to find the shows of it too. How many times? How many have you seen in a row?
Exactly, Ken. Come on, bro.
I watch 8 hours of Unsolved Mysteries.
Okay.
Good Lord. Now, if you don't know, let me quickly just say it's the story of our American founding fathers, Alexander Hamilton. It has different elements of hip hop music, R&B, pop, soul, and traditional style show tunes. Now, the show casts our founding fathers as Black people, which is a little bit different, and people are upset.
Hamilton's Puerto Rican, so make sure you throw that out there.
Oh, my bad.
Like, kind of the star, bro. You BET. Right. You know when BET shows a movie and they'll name the black actor, but you're like, yo, this movie's starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. They're like, yeah, but also Carl Weathers got a scene in it.
You know what? Miguel, I don't want to take away from anything that the Spanish people have accomplished, man. My bad. So let me just say this. Its creator and main character, Alexander Hamilton, is played by Lin-Manuel Miranda. My bad, dog. I got you.
All right. So
All
I
right.
just said, man, they take all the
I
time.
got you. So people are a little bit upset because Hamilton's out right now. It's on Disney Plus, and everybody's talking about it because it was well received critically, and it made all kinds of money. And now they're going to make a motion picture out of it, which is going to come out in a couple years. Now, the problem that a lot of us woke people are having is that the fact that our founding fathers, who were depicted in that play, actually were slave owners. And people are saying that we don't want to hear anything about history that has to do with people owning slaves.
They're going to say that until the Egyptians come out and they're like, yes.
That's my point. Thank you, Miguel. My point is, if we're never going to talk about history that has to do with slavery, then we ain't talking about history at all, man.
And here's something you need to know too. Yes, many of our founding fathers not only owned slaves but profited from slavery if they didn't own slaves. There were some founding fathers though, like John Adams and Sam Adams, Alexander Hamilton himself, Benjamin Franklin later on in his life, that were abolitionists. And Sam Adams and John Adams, they were abolitionists who believed that after the American Revolution that Black Americans were going to be free too, because in Sam Adams and John Adams' mind, they were like, how can we be fighting for freedom if we're not fighting for freedom? And so there was a lot of like, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. What's his name? Who rode with Hamilton, Lafayette, and Hercules McGillicuddy? I can't remember his name. John Lawrence? I butchered. It's probably John Lawrence. John Lawrence, I think, if I'm
Martin
wrong.
Lawrence.
No, not Martin Lawrence.
Martin Lawrence from Black Knight.
Yeah. England! I think it's John Lawrence, man. He got killed as an abolitionist trying to believe. And there were a lot of people too, because England offered the King George made a declaration that any Black man who joined the English army to fight against the colonists would be given his freedom. Well, after the war was over, there were a lot of Black men who fought on the English side and were now going to be turned back into slaves, but some of them were also going to be executed for treason because they fought for English. And it was John Adams, and I want to believe also it was Benjamin Franklin who wrote these letters explaining how could we have been fighting for freedom and now punish men who were fighting for freedom. They're like, how can we tell these men now that they're going to be executed for fighting for the wrong side when they were literally just fighting for their freedom? The first offer to come up to be a free man came up, and it wasn't political. So, I mean, let's just talk about it real, man. Let's just look at a dollar bill and say, yeah, man, this dude owned slaves. I don't know how I felt about that. But let's not say, let's never look at this dude again. Yeah,
let's cancel history. We can't do that, man. You just can't.
Yeah, of course, James would say that because he's a Republican. James wants to keep the Confederate statues up. That's how them Republicans think, my brother.
Where do you think they're shipping all the ones they take down? They're in my backyard, in my garden. Like,
it's crazy, Miguel. Hearing you talk about that, I always have background noise on when I'm working, and I've been watching The Presidents. From History Channel.
Oh yeah, that's a great.
I loved it, and it's if you get History Channel Vault, I've been watching it, and James Buchanan actually bought slaves to free them.
Free them,
He would buy slaves, and then he would send them up north to free them. But man, when it comes to something like Hamilton, like I said, I didn't see the play, I haven't seen anything. I just know Hamilton's story. It's our history. At the end of the day, it's our history, and it's not going to be erased. The best thing to do is not to repeat it. But
to tell the story honestly,
what can you do?
James Buchanan can buy slaves and then free them. But when I got a carload of prostitutes on OBT and I tell the cops, no, I bought them so I can release them, all of a all of a sudden I'm questionable.
Yeah.
Like you're questioning my
Yeah.
intent. I'm trying to say I'm taking them back to my house
You
so
not
that I
dressed
can
right,
I can
Mike.
pretty women them. You know,
Mike,
You're
I'm
not
gonna
dressed right.
You gotta have a little white wig on.
Powdered wig.
You
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I had the purple hat with the feather coming out of it. Maybe that was.
I have a query for you.
I was driving my
officer.
Cadillac with the curb feelers. Maybe that
No,
was
bro,
my
you
problem.
not. Yeah. You was dressed like a pimp, but you gotta have the
What?
little hat on.
That
You
was
gotta
my
have
grandfather's hat. He was
You
an
gotta have a.
upstanding member.
You gotta have a horse and carriage. You gotta be.
Mike say, hey, we don't love them hoes, but I want to free them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike, what's your pimp? Mike, you need a pimp name, bro.
Oh, Mike's Berg Slim. I slapped the fire wallet out your mouth.
Dear Heavenly Father, please keep my pimp hands brown.
Yeah.
They call me Lafayette because I do things only Frenchmen will do.
Wow.
Whatever that means. But to get back to Hamilton, all right? I get that. Everybody's loving on Lin-Manuel. Everybody's loving on Hamilton. Can we just admit the guy's a bit of a hack? Can we just put that out there? He basically, he'll say it right out. He started writing this after reading the autobiography or the biography of called Hamilton in 2004. And then he goes out and takes like rap lines straight from other rap songs. And
try to take this from us, Mike?
I'm not trying to take this from me.
You trying to take this from me? The only thing I got?
I can't take more than Lin-Manuel took from everybody else right now. All right. What I'm saying is, and then he calls that "Don't Waste Your Shot" song. He comes out and says, he said this in an interview. He's like, in every musical, there's a "I Want" song where the lead character is singing about what basically the whole thing's going to be about, what his goals are. And he's like some classic "I Want" songs are like, is it Biggie's "Juicy"?
Juicy.
Yeah. And then Eminem's
Lose Yourself.
Lose Yourself. What is the main chorus of Lose Yourself?
You better lose yourself.
You only get one shot.
One shot.
Yeah. And then he bases the song off Eminem's song where he's like, don't waste your shot. The guy's a hack. I mean, I'm glad he's making his money, but there's not an original idea in this whole thing.
Hey, man,
Thanks, Mike. Thanks. Now I didn't gotta watch it, bro. That's why I messaged you.
There you
Mike.
go. Yeah, got it.
We're
gonna
look over that.
Good job.
We're gonna look over that. If a white man stole someone else's work, we'd be hearing about it.
We're talking about what the white man
stole. It would be called rock and roll.
You apologize to Elvis Presley right now.
First of all, we all know that it was Marvin Berry who stole rock and roll from Michael J. Fox.
Thank you.
You cousin Marvin.
Hey,
listen to
this. I seen the movie, bro. I gotta agree with you.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, really quick, man. I found this a little bit interesting. I want to bring something up to you guys. I want to see if you guys could actually do this. Now, you guys have heard what's going on with Will and Jada Pinkett Smith, right? You guys have heard. She finally came out on August. That's right. Now, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, Jada Pinkett, Will Smith's wife, came out and she actually admitted that she had an affair with August Alsina. Now, supposedly, her and Will decided they were going to get separated. They were going to be through. So that's when she decided to have the affair with the young man. Now, a lot of rumors are flying around that Jada and Will have an open marriage. Now, I know a couple people working where I used to work that had open marriages. And I was curious to know, would any of you guys be down, or have you ever been in an open relationship? Do you think you guys could do it? Like, Ken, you're shaking your head already. No. Ken, you could do it? Ken, wasn't you in an open relationship in your first marriage, but your wife didn't know?
Oh, yeah. That's called cheating. It's a whole other art, James. It's a whole other art.
Because if she would have opened up to somebody, I was going to tell everybody. I give you the opening.
You would have been like, how disrespectful.
You know what?
You wouldn't do it? You wouldn't do it?
I really don't believe that open marriage thing. I just think, and me and my wife talked about this, we both think that Will and Jada have so much entangled in their marriage with money, with property, with all the business. They can't get divorced. Do you know how crazy that would be if they got divorced? But you can look at Will's face on that Red Table Talk. He was hurt.
Yeah,
he was hurt. He was hurt because as a man, right
on the couch where I watch Sports Center,
because right, as a man, as a man, you can be on a break and I can do what I want to do. But if you gonna be out doing something and you get emotional with some guy, or as she called it, entangled, now, dog. Now, dog.
Well, there's a discussion going on right now that I guess Jada had said at some point Will's already gotten his revenge or something. Like if
Margot
Will
Robbie,
gonna go out.
Yeah,
the Margot Robbie. There was speculation back when they were filming that Focus movie, and back when they were doing
the Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. There was some pictures that surfaced where they were looking real Beijing, cozy.
Hot garbage.
They were looking cozy and stuff like that. So there's just been that kind of speculation out there right now. I guess she was on Jimmy Fallon where he was doing one of his games with celebrities where you had to look at the paper and answer the question. And you had to answer the question, but if you didn't want to read what the question was so that the audience would be able to pair up what that answer went to, you had to do a shot. And she opened up and she looked at it and she said, Will Smith, and then took her shot.
Ooh, nice. Nice.
So the question is either who you've been hooking up with on set or what's the one actor that should not have been in Suicide Squad.
Yeah. Damn. Man, you know, like, I'll tell you the truth, though. You think you're open. You think you're open until you start realizing there's emotions. So, I mean, you can have open relationships all day, but that means you got to be so iceberg cold and so knowing that we love each other. Because, I mean, we all know you break up with your girl. It's not the sex you miss. It's not, you find yourself sitting on the couch with nobody to just talk to that you care about talking to. And that's the stuff that hurts when you find out that they're not hooking up together. They're being companions.
Its emotions are tied to it. Yeah. There you go. I'll tell you right now, hands down, I am not emotionally built for any of that. I'm not. Like you're saying, my ego cannot handle that. Yeah, bro. Yeah. So, I don't want nothing open. And let me tell you the truth right now. Look at me. I'm 44, y'all. Back in the day, I told my wife, you have nothing to worry about when it comes to me cheating with a girl because I love you. But at 44, I don't got the energy to cheat. Like, I don't have any of that stamina. So thank you guys for listening to Real Laughs today. We will see you guys tomorrow. Keep tuning in. 104.1.